Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of WP the Podcast. I'm David Blackman.
And I'm Tim Streifler.
Today in episode 812, we're going to talk about the 3 easiest payment options for any e-commerce website. Obviously, if you sell products, whether it's in a brick and mortar business and you've been in business for a long time, or if you're a brand new business and you're starting up and you sell something, you definitely want to do it online. And it may seem kind of daunting and overwhelming to choose or decide, okay, which payment processor do I use? Should I, go to my bank? What should I do? But there's actually some that are set up very, very low hanging fruit for when you're starting your online journey. And we're going to discuss those. We've got 3 options that we're going to choose. I don't have them in any specific order as far as which one's better than the other. It just depends on what your business does, because one may work better for your business based on if you're a brick and mortar and you have POSs or point of sales in your store, or if you don't have any, if you're straight online, you may want to choose one of the online options. So, Tim, you want to get us started with which one? Which one do we want to go with first?
Yeah, I'll start by saying Stripe, which is my favorite. Stripe is they kind of branded themselves in the beginning as a payment processor for developers by developers, right? And in that they had a really robust system, fantastic API, and just really good documentation for managing their API, which made it easier for all the different e-commerce tools and payment gateways and everything to be able to integrate with them super easily, so that WooCommerce could make a Stripe integration. Easy Digital Downloads could create a Stripe integration, and all these different things. And so Stripe is they've become like a staple when it comes to e-commerce now. Like they're everywhere. They're a huge company. They do billions in processing every year. And so, but they're a really great processor because of how good their platform is. And so it's really easy to go in and do things. So I love Stripe for that reason. So I put Stripe on every e-commerce website that I build, and I use it for my own business. David and I use it for WP Gears to sell our courses. And it's great. Love it.
And Tim probably processes billions alone just on his website.
Exactly. Exactly. I wish.
Number 2 in our list, and I'll stick with more of the online that kind of is probably Stripe's biggest competitor, and that's PayPal. Easy to set up, easy to manage. One thing I will say about PayPal and Stripe is they have some pretty unique options if you're a new business and you're just getting started and stuff. You don't have to do background checks and all this stuff. You don't have to worry about PCI compliance with security on your servers, because everything is handled in their world. So if you get like a bank payment processor like Chase or somewhere like that, because you're getting a little bit better of a rate than a PayPal or a Stripe, well, it depends on your trade-offs. So PayPal, for example, you're not going to have to worry about PCI compliance, because and PCI compliance is basically the laws governing information, your credit card data, all of that stuff that's pretty important data, and it's got to be secure. So if you're not using something like a Stripe or a PayPal where they're handling all of it, you're going to be responsible for it. So if you're not, set up to handle that, then you probably want to consider one of these. And that's one of the reasons why it's easiest to get started, because you don't have all the rules and laws and governing bodies, making sure that you're doing things proper and right. Super easy to set up. One thing that I will say, kind of a downside, is like, and I don't think Stripe is like this, but PayPal will, when you're a new business, especially, and you're starting with PayPal, they'll hold on to your funds for like a month before they'll release them. They'll let you have a certain cap amount, And I guess they're just protecting themselves from fraud in some shape, form, or fashion. But in the beginning, it was, as a new business owner, it was, when cash flow is important, it kind of sucked. The good news is that once you've been established for a while, they will remove all of those limits and stuff. They won't hold on to your money and whatnot. And one of the other benefits is they actually have capital that you can use in Stripe or PayPal, as a bit small business owner, that they'll give you, in essence, lines of credit. Now, I will say that these things are pretty high interest rates. So, they make it really, really easy for you to get money from them, because they will just basically take it out of your account. They basically look at your account and say, okay, you've been generating X amount of dollars for the last 12 months, 24 months. We will give you a basic line of credit for X number of dollars, and we'll automatically take 5, 10, 15, 20, 25% off of your future sales. That's how you pay it back. And but the interest rate, again, is pretty high. But if you're a new business and you need that, it's nice to have it. It's there and stuff. Um, Outside of those two things, I think they're pretty comparable.
Yeah.
Um, as far as like ease of setup, ease of getting started, what you're going to need to do and stuff. And both of them are very well trusted, very well known around the world. So if people come to your website and they see one of these payment processors, they're not going to get scared away and stuff.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And PayPal, as David mentioned, is very well trusted, but it's a lot of times people have a love-hate relationship with it. And so I always recommend having both Stripe and PayPal on an e-commerce site, and give users the option, so that if they want to use PayPal, they can, but they don't have to. Because some people are like, oh, PayPal, well, I don't have a PayPal account. And they get all confused and up in arms.
right.
So basic credit card or PayPal, you choose. Now, the third option, because this was titled the 3 easiest payment options for an e-commerce site, is Square. Now, Square is primarily a payment solution and POS system for brick and mortar stores. If you've been to any trendy coffee shop or any modern restaurant, you've seen the Square system with the little credit card scanners. You put your credit card in, and with the iPad integrated into the screen. And the system is great. And so many small businesses use Square. And the benefit of using Square on an e-commerce website is if you already have a brick and mortar where you're using Square. And so be able to integrate the two. So if you're selling e-commerce as well as in a storefront, now you can integrate your inventory system, because you can use the same system. So generally we recommend Stripe or PayPal, but if you're a brick and mortar, you can use Square on your e-commerce site as well.
Boom. Well, there you go, folks. The 3 easiest payment processing platforms to set up any website. Tomorrow we've got another great topic. You're going to have to tune in tomorrow to find out what it is, because I'm not going to tell you. I haven't decided if we want to talk about this one yet or not, and I want to discuss it with Tim. So until then, until tomorrow, we'll see you then.
Take care. Bye-bye.